Do you know some people maybe just seem more naturally happy all the time?
Yeah.
No, it's annoying, isn't it? No, it might be easier for some, maybe it's a state of mind, or maybe they've had some happiness training.
Our next guest knows all about being happy and the steps to take to get there. In fact, Edwin Edebiri, did I say that right? I said it very slowly, is called the Chief Happiness Officer, and he's here to help bring more sunshine into our lives. Welcome, Edwin.
Thank you very much.
How are you? Thanks for being here.
Nice to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah.
How do you get a title Chief Happiness Officer?
Well, it's in the beginning of the whole period when I started going out talking to people. A young man came to one of the sessions I did, and he said, "Wow, you must be the head honcho of happiness." and I understood what he said, and it was kind of exciting. And I'm thinking, okay, how do I go around telling people I'm head honcho of happiness? You know, it didn't sound right. And I said, and I didn't want to be CEO. So then I said, well, you know what? I guess I would be CHO. And together we say, yeah, that makes sense, Chief Happiness Officer. And
I like
then it just stuck, yeah.
Okay.
That's really nice. So how did you get started?
Well,
And
it was
why?
the beginning of last year, 2009. I mean, to say that that was a challenging period for all of us would have been an understatement, you know. And so I do a lot of meditation. So I started asking myself, what can I do as an individual? I mean, this is such a huge global problem, but as an individual, what can I do to shape people's mind? And so one day I was in Chico, you know,
Yes.
locally here at the Barnes & Noble bookstore. A couple were having very intense altercation. And so I got into the bookstore, and everybody seems to be minding their business. So I said, okay, I better mind my business. But immediately I uttered the thought, the next thing I'm in front of this couple asking them permission to ask a question. And they were very nice. So I said on a
Well,
scale
you were
of,
brave.
on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you? And you could have heard a pin drop in the place. And so they both gave me a number, and I was so excited. So I grabbed my notes, gave them a sheet of paper each, and said, hey, if you score this high, there must be some things you are thankful for or happy about. Could you give me 2 or 3 of those? And so they wrote it down, and they gave it back to me. They weren't talking to each other. And I looked at it, and I screamed. They both wrote down 3 identical items. And so when I showed it to them, they cracked up. And everybody clapped.
So they were really on the same page.
They were
They
totally
just didn't realize it.
misunderstanding, you know,
Yeah.
which is really some of the major reasons people are unhappy. And but the crust of it was I was in Jack London Square in Oakland, and a young man was approaching me, and I've talked to over 500 people by this time. And so I asked him, can I ask a question? And he said no. And so I felt challenged, so I wouldn't let go. So I insisted. And he said, okay, make it quick. And I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy you are? And he scored very low. So I was shocked. So I spent some time with him and shared stories with him. And then he called me back the next day and to thank me that he was on his way to commit suicide when I intercepted him. And he went back home, flipped his suicide note, and started writing some of the things I shared with him. So that changed everything for me.
Wow, so what you're doing is helping kind of change people's mindsets. What's something that we can do when we approach an unhappy person or an unhappy person approaches us? What's a practical thing that we can do?
Well, there are some folks that just enjoy being unhappy. Those people, I say, leave alone. Okay? And there are very few, for real. But for the majority, there's always a reason for that unhappiness. And it's usually a temporary reason. So if you can find out what that is, then you can help them more. And the only caution I say, though, is if somebody is unhappy, you don't want to be too happy. You know,
Right.
that could actually
Then they
make
start
them
to
worse.
resent you.
Exactly, yeah, yeah.
to know.
So be kind of cognizant of their mood and come to that level and then bring them back up.
There's a Global Happiness Summit coming up. Can you
Yeah.
share? Because a lot of people might need some help kind of finding that happy place, and this is a good way to do it, you think?
Absolutely. And like most things, you know, we go to school, we learn how to do a lot of stuff. Okay, we learn how to do a lot of stuff, but we never learn how to be happy. And in any given day in this country, 1 out of every 4 adults is depressed. And those are the ones that agree to be depressed. So there's maybe 2 or 3 more that haven't said so. So we've created the Global Happiness Summit. We've assembled some of the top people in the field of happiness. A local lady here that teaches happiness at Stanford. The CEO of Zappos, Tony Shea,
Wow.
you know, that built Zappos on the Happiness Foundation. And so we encourage people to come out. And we've created a very nice setting, the USS Honor, the aircraft carrier. And it's the fleet weekend, so a whole lot of stuff is going well for us.
And also, we should mention, that is fabulous. There's a Stockton event as well. So
Absolutely.
if people maybe can't make it to that one, they can go to Stockton and check that out
And we
at the
will
Cultural Center.
have all of that information on our website
Just in 2 days,
well.
actually, just in 2 days, they're going to be there in Stockton. I will be talking about the power of the brain and how if your brain is happy, you will be a happy person.
Good tips. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, so finally I'm going to ask you.
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you?
I am 9.
9?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were 10.
No, well,
you surprised me.
Yeah,
there's always room for improvement.
Wow.
Okay. All right. We're going to have to get Melissa up from 1 to 10.
There we go.
Okay, because she's just way too unhappy on the show. Thank you so much for joining us. We
I am so
appreciate
glad.
it. I'm
Thank you.
happier now.